What's up, everybody? Joey Alfieri, Simon Tsalikis with an episode of the Sports Dép Podcast. Very short and sweet podcasts. We're 15 to 23 minutes.
15 to 23.
15 to
That's
23.
a
It's a very random. Window, but this is what we do. Quick in and outs, mostly focused around the Montreal sports, Montreal Canadiens. But this is our Thursday NFL episode, and there's a lot of different things to get to. Simon, a lot of different things have happened this week. I mean, I feel like we can do like 6 hours just of NFL talk,
And
but
still some positions are not filled.
Yeah, some positions are not filled. But I always, you know me, I always ask. I start with the hard hitting questions and whatnot. What's going on with the toque? For those of us who are watching on YouTube, like I know it's snowing out.
Yeah, that's what it is.
It's cold, it's snowing.
No product in my hair.
Oh,
Yeah, it's a non-product day.
all day?
All natural. Yeah.
All day?
Like Sam. Yeah.
Yeah, but Sam has like the long
Sam,
flowing
yeah,
hair.
that's what I want to be. I want to be like those guys.
I think those days might be done for you, Tsalikis.
No, just no gel. I have gel. I'm not saying I'm not struggling or anything financially. I have gel at home, but it is a non-product day today.
Yeah, price of gel.
Price of
I have the
everything,
little,
of
I have like a little L'Oreal men
Of course you do.
thing. It's like, it was like a tiny thing. It was like 15, 16 bucks,
No,
man.
I have my rules when it comes to gel, toothpaste, toilet paper, Scott towels, you
Yeah.
name it, whatever's on special. Soap bars,
Yeah.
whatever's on special.
Yeah, I just picked up, I mean, we're going to plug some things, but I picked up Bounty this week at Costco.
Let's
like
go.
the big pack where paper towels. So it's like $32.99.
A lot of
for
them.
paper towel.
That's what it is.
Yeah, I
man.
know there's a lot of, there's like, what is this? There's like, I forget how many there is in there. But you know what? I get a 2-for-1 because not only is it Scott towels for our house, it's also, when they're wrapped up, it's also blocks for my kid to
There
play.
you
This
go.
is what we do now.
This is
James is playing with
that's a
the
good thing.
Scott towels.
If you can start doing that, and maybe you could do that with your meats as well. I don't know.
No, the meats I like them on the grill.
The chicken skewers makes little castles.
Can
of
I
them.
tell you something? I grilled on the balcony tonight.
Oh, good for you. Okay, so this is funny.
I
Very
grilled
quickly when we get
on
to the
steak.
sports,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
promise.
Yeah.
I did the food run this week. Usually my wife does it.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
goes with one of the girls. They have them, they get a coffees and blah, blah, blah. So I said, okay, I'll do it this week.
Yeah.
I went to look at, I won't mention the place because I like the place, but it's not their fault. Or
Oh.
maybe it is their fault.
Oh, okay.
I looked at the price of red meat. My wife, when she comes, did you get steaks? I said, no. I said, I saw the price and we're not barbecuing. So good on you for your
I did.
I said,
in sandals, socks and sandals.
good for you.
Winter jacket,
That's
socks
it,
and sandals.
That's it. I said, at this price,
Sam's
if I'm
judging
not
me.
barbecuing, because we cook a little bit of steak sometimes
Yeah,
inside
yeah,
on the
yeah.
pan.
Yeah,
in the
yeah,
oven.
on the pan. Yeah, yeah.
Not for me. It's good. I'll eat it.
Au
when
jus
you
there, like you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
me.
yeah.
Me, Tsalikis.
But if you're
Nice.
not barbecuing it,
yeah.
at some point I'm like, no. And for the price of that piece,
Yeah, yeah.
those 2 pieces of meat, to non-barbecue them,
You're
I
out.
said, hope you enjoy the salmon.
Oh, that's a downgrade.
Yeah.
That's a downgrade.
It is.
Steak to salmon?
Yeah, well, listen, we got to eat
Not
a
the
little bit
biggest
healthier,
salmon
but
guy.
yes.
All right. Speaking of eating healthier, I'm going to try to
Fantastic
make a segue
segue.
to here. Mike McCarthy. I don't know if that's a really good segue, but there's a lot of things I want to hit. Mike McCarthy going to Pittsburgh. I know the people in Pittsburgh aren't thrilled with it, but you know, guy gets emotional during the press conference. He's going back home. He grew up a Steelers fan.
That's big.
We'll talk about that. Shador Sanders in the Pro Bowl. We'll
Amazing.
talk about that as well. Joe Brady and the Bills. I have a theory, an interesting theory about the Buffalo Bills. We'll get into that. But I want to start with the biggest news. Came out on Tuesday. Bill Belichick, not a first ballot Hall of Famer. I saw you tweet about it. I didn't tweet about it, but I was just like, it was an eye roll to me. Somebody that I really like was linked to this.
Your boy.
Bill Polian was
Bill Polian, of the Colts.
I don't know if
Yes,
this is
listen,
confirmed
yes,
or not.
yeah.
But Bill Polian apparently tried to convince other voters
We
that.
didn't try to convince. He did convince.
But I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
We don't know. This is allegedly
Yes.
that he did this.
Yeah.
So we don't know if he actually was the one behind this. But the report goes that Bill Polian is convincing other voters that Belichick has to pay for Spygate and for Deflategate.
Okay. Well,
and so he's going to sit out a year. Oh, okay,
What-
cool.
what a
Greatest football coach in NFL
Yeah.
history is not going to get
I
into the
mean,
first
arguably
ballot.
the greatest coach in North American sport, right?
Yeah, we'll calm down there, but he's in the
Well,
conversation.
I think football is a little bit more difficult, Joey, than other teams because of you finish in first place, which they did for almost 20 years. You get a first place schedule, right? Patriots, Bears this year,
Yeah.
both got fourth place schedules. Oh, one's in the Super Bowl and one was in the second round of the playoffs. Free agency, and a salary cap and I hope Martin St. Louis wins 1 or 2 cups in a row. You know what's not going to happen? His assistants will not get fleeced the same way Patriots offensive coordinators and defensive coordinators were being plucked up during the heydays of the Patriots. So I do believe he is the most successful, greatest coach in North American sports history. Up there with Scotty Bowman. You could put your boy Phil Jackson in there as well. It's a short list. It's a Mount Rushmore list, okay?
Yeah.
Good. Now, I have a lot on my plate. I got a mortgage. I got a JOB. I got 2 daughters. I got a wife. I got a car payment. The fact that I don't have to take Hall of Fame voting seriously anymore because they've told me this is a joke. This is a joke. Don't pay attention here. This is only for stupid people. Great. I'm out. I don't have to take this seriously. You know who told me not to take this seriously? The people in the NFL Hall of Fame committee said, don't take this too seriously. We're a joke. Like, I can get it. We can argue. Carey Price in the Hall of Fame. Shea Weber, first ballot Hall of Fame. Harold Baines in baseball. What are we doing here, Joe? What are we doing here? 2 as a coordinator, 6 as a head coach, second winningest coach in NFL history. If you're not taking this seriously, then great. I don't have to take this seriously anymore. The people who voted against this need to have their names exposed, and they need to sit in front of a microphone and have questions asked. And if it's pettiness because his team used to stomp on your Jets or on your Dolphins or on your Colts or on your Steelers, out you go. Out you go. This is a serious thing, man. And what's funny, and I'm not going to get emotional here or anything, but Bill Belichick... Are you going to cry? No. Bill Belichick probably loves football more than anybody you know, Joe. I saw the stories afterwards of like how him and his dad would go to the Football Hall of Fame, how this was the mecca for him, how you ever see him on those NFL films?
Yes.
Joey, he knew everything about football going back to beyond black and white, no cages, no nothing, guys in leather helmets. What a travesty, man. What a travesty. And it's kind of creeped itself into all sports. It looks like now it's clicks, it's this, it's that. You have a powerful agent and all these things to get in. But one of the biggest outrages, I think, in sports history, I'm not joking. This is, if he's not first ballot, take your time, think about it. You tell me who is.
Yeah, Sam, I think we just got the promo for the episode. Tsalikis has a job, he has a mortgage, he's got a car payment. Now he doesn't have to worry about the Hall of Fame. So that's one less thing.
One less thing I got to worry about. I don't have to worry about it anymore.
I think you hit the nail on the head here. I really hope that I hope they have a better reason than a Spygate and Deflategate. I mean, Simon, the league there's teams that have come back and won championship with murderers. You know what I mean? Like, there's teams that have come back and I know that's not the team's fault, but I mean, it's not the team's fault. Whatever, you employ, it is the team's fault because you've employed murderers. You've employed people that beat women. You've won with all kinds of shady characters, and you're telling me, like, I thought that deflating the football thing, that 4 game suspension. If you remember that,
he wasn't. It's Brady that took the beating there, took the brunt there, and took the 4 game suspension. But
there's always something there, right?
Yeah, but at the end of the day, the NFL did their investigation and said Bill Belichick had nothing to do with this. But
whatever. I'm just, to me, I thought the deflate thing was overblown. Suspending Brady 4 games for that is ridiculous.
For 2 PSIs.
It was nuts. I thought the cover-up was even, as equally ridiculous. Like, they had the guy who would deflate the footballs, nicknamed the Deflator.
Yeah.
And then they tried to explain that guy had lost weight, and that's why they called him the Deflator.
I don't think so.
But look, ridiculous. Do I think they doctored the football? Not doctored, but do I think they lowered the
Sure.
Of course they did.
They
did. Everybody's cheating.
Yes.
But you want to make an example of Brady and Belichick and the Patriots. So whatever. To me, I think it's a travesty. I think it's ridiculous. I think it's a joke that they've done all this. You said it.
And Bill
Belichick, he's going to get in, but it's just ridiculous. The greatest
Belichick,
football coach in NFL history is not going to get in the first ballot. It's embarrassing.
He wasn't overly friendly to the media,
yeah.
But he doesn't have a rap sheet. He, like, you know what I mean? Like, I can't say like he doesn't have a rap sheet, but like, he gave his time to football. The man loved football. The Bill and Bill 30 for 30, whatever it was. His Q&As with the Boston press, fine. That's not what's in play here.
And don't give me, please don't at me and say, oh yeah, well, you had Tom Brady.
Yep.
Fantastic.
Yep.
There's people that had Peyton Manning. There's people that had Drew Brees. There's people that had Phillip Rivers. There's people that have Joe Montana. There's people that have Joe Burrow now. There's
people who had Ken Dryden, Guy Lafleur, the big three on the blue line.
But fine, those guys all won. My point is, there's people that had elite quarterback play year in and year out for a long time. They don't have 6 Super Bowls in over 2 decades.
No.
They just don't. They just don't. So please don't give me, he had Brady. Trust me, the New England Patriots, was Tom Brady a big part of it? 1,000%.
Yeah.
Tom Brady, the greatest quarterback of all time for me? 1,000,000%. But there was more to it than that. And I think you're seeing that just based on, a guy like Mike Vrabel coming through the ranks and coming in and bringing the Patriots to a Super Bowl in his first year as their coach. He had a lot of success with the Tennessee
Allen good
Titans.
at football?
Josh Allen's great at football. Hasn't sniffed the Super Bowl yet.
But look at his reign. His reign lasted, 6 years?
Yeah.
As the top of the NFC, AFC East, right? Those guys did it for 2 decades.
Yeah, don't tell me.
It was a very bad day for football.
It's embarrassing.
Good.
It was embarrassing. I'm with you there. Okay, let's go over quickly. Shedeur Sanders Pro Bowl. Do you care about this? To me,
no.
I'll be honest with you, Simon. The Pro Bowl, I feel like it's overblown. Like we often mention, they signed a Pro Bowler. Like, okay, fantastic, great. Tyler Huntley was a Pro Bowler too. My thing is, you want to have discussions with me about who's the greatest, and we'll entertain the debates. I'm not talking about you. I'm saying in general. But to me, I want to take all pro seriously. To me, that's what it is.
100%.
It's all pro.
All pro matters more than anything
Pro
else.
Bowl, there's guys that are injured, guys that go to the Super Bowl. Drake May can't go to the Pro Bowl. Guys that pull out because they're injured.
Don't want to go.
This is the guys that don't want to go. They've played football all year. They're done. This is all this is. And it's a bigger story because it's Shedeur Sanders, but this was the same deal with Tyler Huntley a couple of years ago. People ridiculed it at the time. It's just what it is. It's a skills competition, Simon. That's what it is.
And I think for the NFL National Football League, more people will tune in because Shedeur is there, or if they send Justin Herbert or somebody else. So a little bit of an advertising, marketing ploy by the National Football League more than it is. No disrespect to Shedeur, but there was many more quarterbacks in the AFC that deserve that weekend in where they do it.
But there's a lot of guys that probably don't want it.
You're right. Listen, they named Shedeur, but they didn't name the 3 guys they called before Shedeur. And the National Football League can come out and say that, or leak it at least, and say, Justin Herbert told us to buzz off.
Yeah.
Give me another one. Joe Burrow, healthy, said did not return our call. So there might have been a whole bunch of guys that said no, and then it landed on Shedeur's lap.
You want to do Steelers or Bills here?
I'll go a little bit. Just very quickly, Mike McCarthy is a very good football coach.
Yeah. Simon, have you seen the John Harbaugh, Mike McCarthy number comparison?
He's
almost identical.
He's got a chip.
It's almost identical.
Dak Prescott went from a 4th-round pick to one of the 10 best quarterbacks in football. They won 12 games 3 years in a row in Dallas. Then the bottom fell out. Of course, the playoff is not good enough. We saw maybe the best of Aaron Rodgers under Mike McCarthy.
But that's why I think Mike McCarthy doesn't have the same cachet, doesn't have the same aura as John Harbaugh. Because I think people look at Mike McCarthy and they say, you had peak Aaron Rodgers all those years. You have one championship with him. I think that's what hurts Mike McCarthy, the perception.
I'm a little bit surprised. I like the fact that the guy got emotional. Good for him. He's coaching a team like it's me coaching the Bears or the Habs or the Lakers. Yes, I get very emotional as well. He's a very good coach. I'm surprised at the hiring, Joey. I really thought we were going to find some young buck in his early 30s.
But that's what they do.
They've completely flipped the script, right? They've completely flipped the scripts.
Chuck Noll, Mike Tomlin, and Bill Cowher. I mean,
absolutely.
What they do.
I'm a little bit surprised that they went for a guy in his 60s. The hire that I was expecting was going to be a guy in his 30s and 40s that was going to be there for 2025, or at least hopefully be there for 20, 25 years.
Yeah, the roster needs overhaul, man. They're old. They need.
Also, I don't one of the most expensive defenses in football. That didn't look like they were the most expensive.
For sure, TJ Watt's been a little banged up, and Hayward's still a good player, but he's getting old. And then obviously at quarterback,
and Jalen Ramsey, I'm not sure.
Jalen Ramsey's not the same as he once was. That's a roster I think they're going to go through.
They're
a
the
little bit of a hard
perfect
time.
example of what happens when you just can't get into that top 5 or top 6 and draft that player, right? If you're good, just good. If you're good, meaning 9-8 playoff, it's hard to get it right. Well, it's hard to tear it down.
But look at Indianapolis post Manning. They struggled when Jim Sorgi was
they got Andrew Luck,
was a quarterback.
Right?
They end up getting Andrew Luck. I know they don't win a Super Bowl, but they were great for a while. Now he retired early, and look at New England. You were terrible for a couple of years. You had to fire another coach after Belichick, and all of a sudden you go out there, you draft 3rd overall, you get yourself Drake May, and here you are.
One team drafts Drake May, the other one drafts Kenny Pickett.
And that's exactly where we're at. The Bills, Sean McDermott out. We talked about this a little bit last week. They end up going with Joe Brady.
Yes.
My theory is this: you saw very emotional. Josh Allen pulled the Simon Tsalikis, very emotional after the playoff loss to the Denver Broncos, and I wonder if in that moment he thought he realized what was about to go down. Because I don't know if you watched that Terry Pagula.
I watched no, I didn't watch the whole thing. I watched
I didn't watch
whatever
the whole thing
made
either, but it was
media.
like the amount of times that he
It's
cut
odd.
off being the GM. I mean, it was just Brandon Bean. It was odd, and he stepped in, and Keon Coleman got thrown
Him
under
just
the bus.
being there was odd.
Yeah, it was odd, but he steps. He says, "Oh, well, no, we hadn't thought about firing McDermott, but I walked into that locker room after the game, and decided that the locker room was devastated. We needed a change." I wonder if after the game, Josh Allen knew that Sean McDermott was out, got very emotional because it's not what he wanted, and then they saw the reaction, and they said to themselves, "You know what? Maybe we need to give him a little bit more input than we thought." Of course, Joe Brady was the quarterback coach there for a bit. He was the offensive coordinator this past year. Josh Allen had some success. I wonder if this wasn't a Josh Allen saying, "Okay, you guys wanted to get rid of my guy, the guy that I wanted, even though I know he's a defensive guy, but you guys wanted to get rid of the guy I wanted. Well, listen to me here. I like working with this guy. Joe Brady makes sense. I'd like to have Joe Brady here." Because think about it, Simon. They had a bunch of guys that ended up turning down the Buffalo job. And I know it's not the most talented roster, but to come in and we're not talking about the Cleveland, people are turning down the Cleveland Browns.
Yes.
Talking about Jim Schwartz now being the front runner there because
Nobody wants it.
Haslam family wants absolutely to keep him. But
The two worst jobs in pro sports right now. Or it seems like it is the head coach of the
producer
Cleveland
of the
Browns,
Sports Dép Podcast.
producer of the Sports Dép Podcast, and
Sam.
the OC for the Philadelphia Eagles. Nobody wants those jobs.
Wants that gig.
You nailed it with Josh
I think that's
Allen.
what
They
it's gotta
fired
be.
his guy. They didn't ask him. Pagula doesn't look like a guy that's smart enough. Well, I mean, he's a very intelligent man, but from a football perspective, I don't think he was smart enough to go to his coach and say, "What do we got to do here?" I would have loved if Pagula, and I was totally for the firing, and I think he's a great coach. And I said this, they're looking at the Ravens and Harbaugh just not getting it done.
Yeah, but you know what was weird, Simon? It's that I don't think their roster's overly good. To me, the thing that was weird is that you fire the coach, GM gets a promotion to VP of football.
That's a little bit odd.
That's weird.
Yeah,
That's
on the same day.
weird.
On the same day.
Yeah, it's weird.
Definitely weird. And they didn't want to happen what happened with Tomlin and the Steelers. If Pagula would have just said one of the classic sports phrases from a front office, we hit the proverbial wall, and Joey, I would get it. I think McDermott's a very good coach. I don't know if I would have fired him, but I get it. You just look at an organization like, guys, we keep going down the same road, whether it's we leaving 13 seconds on the clock or whether we get an incompletion on fourth down, last year in Kansas City, or this year, Brandon Cooks get the ball stripped from him in field goal range. We just can't run out the same unit because then we look like the Steelers. And then, so I get it. He just says, we need a new voice. Okay. Josh Allen didn't like that. Yeah. Josh Allen vetoed everybody that came into that interview, and if you want it, you better appease Josh Allen. And they went with Brady, but even more so, 5 years. Ooh, sounds like a lot. No, 5 years for a guy who has no NFL coaching experience. That he got that 5 years. I think Allen is 30, so that'll take him to 35. This should be their best years together. But I think it had to be done, and I'm a little bit surprised with the hiring.
Tsalikis?
Yes, sir.
Always fun, man. Nice toque.
Great toque.
Fantastic toque. Is that a skull looking at me? What is that? That's a skull?
If you're wondering, it's from the John Varvatos collection.
Oh, very cool.
But I need to say this. I will be in the market for a new toque as of the next week. Yeah, I've had this for a couple of years.
I can't wear the toques that that don't have the flip. I like the
the beanies that are in now, right?
The beanies that are in now.
That's what I'm looking for.
And I get a lot of grief because I wear it above my ear. I like that it's a little loose at the top.
No.
The kids are wearing, and it's it doesn't cover my ears. So it's people are like, well, if it doesn't cover your ears, what's the point? I don't know.
Style, bro.
Fashion statement.
That's it.
Tsalikis, behave yourself.
Yes, sir.
This has been another episode of the Sports Dép Podcast with Joey Alfieri and Simon Tsalikis. You can catch us every day, Monday through Friday, mostly talking Montreal Canadiens, but as we did today, we do a little general sports talk. Today was centered around the NFL, but we'll get into some NBA talk. We'll get some cool guests here on this episode as well. But that's it for the Sports Dép Podcast. We'll be back with another Habs episode tomorrow. Welcome back, Sports Dép Habs Infinity Collab. It's our question of the day, and it has to do with Ivan Demidov, the sensational Montreal Canadiens rookie. And we're looking ahead, way ahead today, Tsalikis. I'm going to ask you right now, over, under $10 million per season on Demidov's next contract.
I'm going to go with an under. I'm going to go with an under. He's sold a little bit less money to Slav, to Nick Suzuki, to Cole Caulfield. Hudson. Dobson got good money, but I think that was post the new world order of financing in the National Hockey League.
New world order.
Yes. So I'm just going to say maybe gets more than Nick Suzuki, right? They're signing contracts several years apart. But $10 million, I don't think that's the way Ken Hughes has the philosophy in this club. I think everything else, Demidov likes being here, you see what's going on here. Everybody else is in their 20s. You're doing something kind of special. You're building something. I'm going to say it goes in slightly under $10 million.
I think it's going to depend on when he signs this deal. If he's going to sign it, I think he's eligible to sign this summer an extension. Because there's 1 year left on the entry-level deal,
after
right?
this year.
So I think, exactly. So I think you can sign as of this. That's how it is for UFAs. I'm assuming RFAs is the same thing. I'm not a CBA expert.
Yeah.
But I think if he signs it this summer, I think it'll be under. I think if he has another season, I think if he builds, which I think he will, I think he's going to get better next year. I think if they go and he becomes an RFA or he can become an RFA, that's where I think it'll be an over because the cap is going to continue to go up. It's going to already make an astronomical jump here this summer. The next year, teams are going to have a ton of money to spend. And I really feel like Demidov is the real deal. I think he's going to take it to another level next year. You see, as a rookie, how he's taken, Oliver Kapanen. Nobody thought Oliver Kapanen was going to flirt with a 20-goal season. I know he slowed down a little bit, but he's on track to go well over 20 goals. That's in large part due to Demidov. Nice chemistry on that line with Juraj Slafkovsky. To me, I think Demidov is only getting better. I think he's only getting more comfortable in a North American environment. Outside of Russia, I think he's going to get more and more comfortable. I think on the ice, it's clear he's already gotten more comfortable. To me, I think he's only going to get better. So I think if he signs it this summer, then I think it's going to be under. I think if they wait till after next season, I think he's going to be the highest paid player on the Montreal Canadiens. I really feel that way. I think he's that good.
It could be. I just seen that Ken Hughes has everybody buying into just take a little bit less so we build something special here.
But it will be a little bit less based on where the cap is at. If you look at cap percentage, I think he'll be right around where maybe everybody else is because it's going up a lot.
Yeah, listen, the next year is the big deal. If like you said, this summer, it also is it a 3-year deal or is it a 7-year deal? Right, depending on what he wants.
Locked in long term.
I would think you want that security.
Guys doing commercials for everything.
Ashton, Poutine, or whatever it's called in Quebec. That's some big money right there. Right? So I'm gonna just say under that $10 million mark.
All right, that's it for our Sports Dép Habs Infinity question of the day.